Alright guys, take a look at this. This is my Greek tortoise, and his name is Speedy. And take a look at this guy. I've actually had him for 2 years, and if you're thinking about getting a pet that's really low maintenance, has a lot of character, easy to maintain, very curious, I would say a tortoise is the way to go. And actually, believe it or not, I have this guy set up in my bedroom. Well, of all places. So actually, I bought these tortoise enclosures. Basically, this is 2 back to back, and I just basically didn't put the end on, and I basically just latched them together and put them on this card table, and it works fantastic. And it basically it's a Zoo-Med tortoise house. And I actually took some stain and I stained it, and what I'm using here is basically a Pro Coco coconut husk bedding. And this guy, he is a really neat animal. They don't really like to be held or picked up, so typically I never pick them up like that. And I really like this because it completely opens up and you can get in. They really don't need a lot of decorations. And the thing you really have to watch about these guys is if you get something that's too big in the middle here. I've actually seen this in pet stores where they'll have something that's like has really steep edges, and they'll flip on their back. And when they flip on their back, they really can't get back over, and it's not good for them to really be upside down on their back. So, you know, every now and then we'll find him upside down. I think he tries to climb the walls, but he is a really neat pet. I'm actually thinking about getting a sulcata. Sulcatas get really big. I think it'd be neat to have a little baby and kind of grow them up. But so this Greek tortoise will actually he'll actually almost outlive me. So tortoises are one of the longest lived creatures on the planet. And I would say this guy, he'll probably be at the end of his life when I'm about 92 years old. So it's definitely a long-term commitment to have a tortoise like this. And the only thing about keeping him in my bedroom like this is he kind of climbs the walls, and it makes noise at night. So what we do is just put him in a cardboard box in a separate room in the dark, and he goes to sleep. He seems like he's perfectly fine. And then in the morning we put him back in this enclosure. And what he eats 100% is greens, different kinds of lettuce, and just a whole different mix of greens. We kind of mix it up, and then we put a little calcium supplement sprinkled on the greens, and then maybe a little chopped up carrots. And we only feed them every other day. And then as far as the bedding, I just kind of spray it down a little bit with a light mist, just to kind of keep it hydrated. They do shed a little bit, kind of like a snake, so you really have to spray them down every now and then. And actually you're supposed to soak them about once a week for about, I'd say we soak them for about 5 or 10 minutes. And it just kind of helps them to hydrate a little bit if you soak them. And you don't want to soak them in anything that's too deep. So if you put them in too deep of water, they can drown really easy. So if you notice, the water over here is really shallow, and we just use basically it's a planter bottom for the water. You definitely don't want anything too deep for one of these guys. And believe it or not, a tortoise, they say, I've heard animal studies saying that a tortoise is actually one of the smartest reptiles on the planet. Their only downside is they're really slow, and they don't really have hands or feet, so they really can't, and they don't really make any noise. So they really can't show their intelligence. But if you put them in a maze against a rat, they'll win every time, which is pretty amazing. And he's about 10 years old now, so he's not going to get much bigger than this. He might get a little bit bigger, but he's pretty much full grown at this size. And El Sulcata definitely would not fit in this tub after 20 or 30 years. The Sulcata would probably be as big as this whole side of the tub here. And then for heat, we keep a little heat lamp. It's like a little reptile lamp. And the bottom down there, I think it's about 92, 94 degrees right on the bottom under the lamp. And they need a little heat lamp so they can warm up. But other than that, it is a really great pet. I would highly recommend getting a tortoise. And they eat really, really slow. So you give them a bowl of lettuce, and it takes them like half an hour to eat the lettuce. So this guy is so curious. So what I want to do is I'm going to give him a little plate of lettuce, and I want to do a little tortoise time lapse, and you can see him chowing down that lettuce. He's such a great little animal. They are so cute. Alright, I could watch this guy all day long. He's just got some really interesting antics to him. Alright guys, so that's my tortoise. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.